everybody, it's hashtag the Hammer, Glenn Schofield from Sledgehammer Games. Well, actually that's not true anymore, as I'm no longer with the company that I founded, but instead took a, quote, promotion with Activision, spelt with a $sign. Both Michelle and I took jobs at the parent company because, just like any person that's actually not good at anything other than putting up art on Twitter that could be passed off as from someone sitting on a park bench in a major city trying to hustle for a few dollars, people like us fail upwards since we're not actually valuable enough to keep around writing code or fixing problems. I'm going to be working on a new game for Activision, which is probably just a glorified gambling loot box device for milking their customer base more than a dry cow with crusty udders, while Michelle is throwing his hat into the ring for the new CEO job since Eric Hirschberg is stepping down in March, so the timing is right, and he's more the cocksucker type than I am, thus why it says VP Activision in his bio. So we promoted this dude Aaron that looks like the stereotypical Call of Duty player, an overweight neckbeard with thick-ass glasses and Cheeto crust on his fingers, but if you guys want me to continue doing the patch notes for you, comment hashtag the Hammer down below. I'm sure Aaron will stop by at the channel at some point too. Anyways, on to the patch notes, as of course, the new guy is gonna get all the credit for actually listening to the community with the ADS sprint time buff. Even though the game was designed with maps the size of Condry's arms and SMGs are reigning supreme, apparently that's not fast enough for all the ADHD Gamma Lab snorting kids that play our games even though they're rated M for mature. So we abandoned our principles just like that and buffed both the base ADS and ADS from sprint times for SMGs, buffed the base ADS time for rifles and LMGs, but still maintain the hierarchy of SMGs, faster than rifles, faster than LMGs. Now, you'll pick up your weapons as fast as I pick up the free weights at the gym. Lastly, on ADS time adjustments, we nerfed the KAR and M1903 ADS time for snipers that actually take some skill, but too many people are crying about quickscoping since getting killed by annoying shit always yells for a nerf. We also tuned some weapons in addition to the aim down sight times. We buffed the MP40's recoil to try to make another SMG that E-athletes might use other than the PPSH, because we studied World at War, the last Call of Duty game set in World War II that didn't suck, and the MP40 is the only gun that you could actually use in that game. We nerfed the fire rate of the already slow FG42 rifle again to throw a bone to the MLG peeps, because just like dogs, we're their best friends. However, the semi-auto rifles got buffs for people that have trigger fingers like a former Parkland High School student. Is it too early to make that kind of a joke? Anyways, the M1A1, SVT40, and Gewehr 43 got their fire rates increased, along with buffing recoil and bumping the clip size in the weapon that's locked away in supply drops, because that's the direction of fee to pay in 2018. We also buffed the clip size for the nightmare of hardcore players everywhere, the toggle action semi-automatic shotty, as well as making the M30 Luftwaffe now not the shittiest shotgun in the category, even though it's got the rifle bullet on it. In other news, we put up a blog post detailing what's in the coming soon black hole, which hopefully has been actualized now that both me and Condry have gotten out of our own way. This includes Dom XL, which is what Domination was in the beta and should have been when the game launched, and additional buffs to score streaks that are both being tested internally and will be ready soon. We also got caught with our pants down like me in a club bathroom and are investigating War XP seeming to have been decreased, along with supply drop redemptions being missing. But since this affects our bottom line, we'll drag our feet on it a little bit, just like me stumbling around on the dance floor. Also in missing supply drops, the winter bribes that we didn't give out to PC players will finally be rewarded as the event after the Winter Siege one is ending by gifting 3 rare resistance supply drops, which is actually from the wrong collection, so even when we're doing right by the community, we still end up fucking it up. Oh, and speaking of PC, we're doing a free multiplayer weekend, so all those console plebs can see that even on the lowest settings, the game looks and plays much better than on hardware that was underpowered when it first came out. This also means that hackers will be licking their lips like an investor before one of our calls, since that price point barrier to entry is removed for a few days to ruin other people's experiences because that's somehow enjoyable for people that are complete douche nozzles. And lastly, on platforms that didn't throw money at Activision like a drunken sailor coming home to port, the Resistance DLC will drop on the Xbox One and PC on March 1st, which has one map from Modern Warfare 3, one map from Advanced Warfare, and a third original multiplayer map with a new War and Zombies experience that we somehow got away with putting out for people dumb enough to actually buy the Season Pass, which now is mandated for people that want to get into competitive since Valkyrie aka Detroit 2 is in MLG rotation. I'm sorry that so many things are still up in the air, but we'd rather not push out a patch with too many things in it because we've all seen how that goes this week with that other FPS game breaking everybody for the sake of DLC.